Members of Congress returned to Washington with a lot to do before Donald Trump takes office again. We'll show you what to expect.
The UNT men's volleyball team is having an incredible season. We'll give you a closer look at the team and its success.
Members of the UNT debate team are preparing to go head-to-head with the national British debate team. I'll have more information later on in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Landry Brady.
And I'm Vidya Bender. Donald Trump is reportedly picking some well-known Republicans to join his cabinet when he takes the oath of office again. CNN reports Trump is expected to pick Florida Senator Marco Rubio to serve as Secretary of State. It's not clear if Rubio has officially been offered the job yet. He is in his third term in the Senate and previously ran for president in 2016. Trump is also reportedly picking the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, as Secretary of Homeland Security. DHS oversees agencies like Customs and Border Protection, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, FEMA, and the Secret Service. Trump is also expected to pick several Republicans from the U.S. House for various positions in his new administration.
Members of the U.S. House and Senate are back in Washington today after more than a month-long recess. Congress is expected to be very busy between now and Inauguration Day in January. CNN's Amy Kiley has more on the deadlines that lawmakers face.
That December 20th deadline is going to creep up very quickly.
Congress returns to Washington today after an extended election recess. Lawmakers face an urgent to-do list and a ticking clock. They have about 5 weeks to pass a funding bill to keep the government open.
Expect a clash because that's always what happens when we have these potential shutdowns. Republicans are likely going to push for a shorter-term funding patch, while Democrats are going to want a longer-term funding plan.
Another pressing concern is this fiscal year's National Defense Authorization Act. The House and Senate have separate versions on the table and need one that can pass both chambers. Congress also faces pressure to approve more disaster relief funds after Hurricanes Milton and Helene.
We have seen an increase in the frequency and gravity of extreme weather events, and it is our obligation as a government to be prepared for the long term. And that is why we need Congress to act.
Meanwhile, some farm bill programs expire at the end of this year. The debt ceiling will be reinstated January 2nd, and
President Biden will have the opportunity over the next 70 days to make the case to the Congress and to the incoming administration that the United States should not walk away from Ukraine.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Have you been feeling that cold breeze lately, Landry?
I sure have, and I am loving this weather. Our weather anchor, Mauricio Ortiz-Seguera, is here to tell us more. Mauricio?
That's right, guys. We are finally starting to see some of those fall temperatures that we've been desperately wanting. Where have they been? Well, here we are, 71 degrees, and it feels like 71 with a 9-mile-per-hour wind speed coming in from the southeast. It is sunny with no clouds, though, so it might not feel as cold as you think because of the sun just hitting you all over the place. As we go on to tonight's conditions, it's going to be nice and clear. The moon is going to be very visible. We see 67 degrees, and it's going to feel like 67. And the wind speed is 7 miles per hour coming in from the southeast as well. Now, as we go on to tomorrow's conditions, 74 degrees, feels like 74, pretty consistent there. It's going to have a bit of clouds, so the heat might not hit you directly from the sun as much, but it's going to be very windy at 16 miles per hour coming in from the northwest. So do be careful if you decide to have an umbrella outside for some reason. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mauricio. Some college students here in Denton are getting very unwelcome news. Their tuition is about to go up, but it's not happening here at UNT. The Board of Regents at Texas Women's University, TWU, voted to approve a nearly 4% tuition increase starting in the fall of next year. That means a TWU undergraduate student who takes 15 credit hours will have to pay an additional $108. Graduate students will also see their tuition go up, but not as much as their rate increase is 2.79%. Students here at UNT have not seen their tuition go up in several years. The last increase happened back in 2016. The state legislature approved extra funding for public universities last year. That kept in-state tuition unchanged through the end of the current school year.
While our tuition is holding steady, when it comes to driving around campus, it is anything but smooth sailing. The big question, of course, is when is all of this construction going to be finished? ntTV's Deja Jackson looked into it, and here's what she found.
We all love the outcome, but we all hate the sound. The construction you see at UNT is under a 2019 bond program that provides funding for several roads for construction improvements.
It's almost like the construction just doesn't end. It doesn't. And every time that you come back, there's just a new thing.
The roads are fixed depending on their scale of a 0 to 100 overall condition index score. When these roads reach below a 40, these roads look like this.
Construction is kind of messy, and you got to kind of keep doing it. So trying to keep it moving, trying to get it done as quickly as possible, but really focusing on trying to do those major streets during the summer hours.
Bonnie Brace Street is the longest ongoing project with 3 phases. When it's done, it'll be divided in 4 lanes for smoother traffic, but that won't be until 2026.
As much as construction here is difficult, it is needed because, again, without the construction, it'd be even more difficult trying to dodge potholes and all this.
The city of Denton has a construction website that tells you when the road project starts and when it should be completed. Right now, 60 roads are set to be worked on, 75 in progress, and 16 completed. Visit the website to know all the projects in the city of Denton to know which roads to avoid when driving.
As you can see, construction is just getting started with several roads to complete. That means it may be a while before we have a construction-free campus.
We are about to see an international face-off on a debate stage here on campus.
ntTV's Chloe Marshall is live at the GAB with a preview of the forum happening in a few hours. Chloe?
Members of the University of North Texas are preparing to go head-to-head with the national British team. I'm here with 2 members of the British team, Tom and Laura. So what is to be expected in tonight's debate?
Tonight's debate is going to centre around the topic of America First. In a strange turn of events, myself and Laura unexpectedly will be debating for the motion. That being said, America should be placed first among other nations. We're very excited, and hopefully it's going to be a fun, energetic debate with plenty of audience participation.
What is something that you're excited to be debating against the University of North Texas?
We're excited to see how the conventions of British and American debate differ and how by bringing them together we can be more persuasive.
Thank you. You can see this live or in person in GAB room 104. You don't want to miss it. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the front desk.
Thanks, Chloe. Coming up, Texas lawmakers may try to make even more extreme changes to the way issues like race and equality can be taught at colleges. We'll explain.
And we've got to look at some disturbing findings when it comes to young people and vaping. Stay with us.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DatQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DatQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DatQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DatQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Texas Republicans may try to target curriculum at some universities next year. That possibility comes after state lawmakers ban diversity, equality, and inclusion incentives at public schools. Michael Atkinson has the latest from Austin.
Not only have you come for our organizing, but for our curriculum.
It was at the start of the new year that Texas's Senate Bill 17 took effect, essentially ending diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at Texas public universities. That policy focused mostly on student enrollment outreach, but now Republican state leaders may look to target university curricula.
While DEI-related curriculum and course content does not explicitly violate the letter of the law, it indeed contradicts its spirit.
Democrats have urged caution against the legislature's oversight of higher education, both in the previous DEI ban and any future expansions. But in some instances, we've already begun to see something like that.
The LGBTQ studies program, specifically, was there a recommendation to do away with that program?
Yes, sir. There's a recommendation to do away with 52 programs.
Last week, Texas A&M's Board of Regents directed the university to end more than 4 dozen minors and certificates on the basis of low enrollment. But that included, among other things, LGBTQ studies.
You would agree that there are members of the LGBTQ community that are in the workforce, would you not?
Yes, sir.
You'd agree that you have students, that same population on your campus?
Yes, sir.
You would agree that a lot of members of that community are in CEO and executive type positions within our workforce, correct?
Yes, sir.
The A&M decision comes after Senate Bill 17, but before the state legislature directly intervenes in higher ed curricula. It's possible, though, that new policies next session could mean all Texas universities will do something similar.
University officials also argued that those policies did not prevent minority groups from applying to Texas universities. But that data comes just after one enrollment cycle for the current school year. This next legislative session begins January 14th in Austin.
Historic droughts in the northeastern U.S. have caused huge wildfires that have turned deadly. Our reporter Cynthia Mendoza is here with the latest on this developing story. Cynthia?
Thanks, Marisa. This fire is burning across parts of New York and New Jersey. Many residents were forced to evacuate their homes, and one volunteer firefighter was killed while battling the flames. CNN reporter Lee Waldman has a closer look at the tragic effects of this wildfire.
Thousands of acres near the New York and New Jersey border have been burned by the Jennings Creek wildfire since it sparked last week.
We are asking for people that live on Cliff Road and Greenwood Lake to voluntarily evacuate. People in other areas, be prepared to.
Historic drought conditions are fueling the fire, aided in part by wind and dry air. Chris Frennick with the New Jersey Forest Fire Service says the rugged terrain is also a challenge for the response.
It's making access to go fight the fire hard to get equipment in there because some areas is too steep for bulldozers to go to.
Fire crews from New Jersey and New York are working together, attacking the fire from the ground and from the sky, working to contain it and keep it from threatening homes and other structures in the area. Some who live there are being encouraged to leave.
Police knocked on our door like maybe an hour or two ago and just said, if you guys want to get a bag ready and if you have somewhere to go, maybe you should go.
If you find yourself outside anytime soon, be sure to be mindful of the environment around you because we are also seeing some dry conditions here in North Texas. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cynthia. We hope they can get that fire under control soon.
Me too. Our weather anchor Mauricia Ortiz-Seguera is here to tell us about the weather and conditions in our area. Mauricia?
Thanks, guys. Well, luckily we're having no such wildfires happening around in our area. As you can see, we have pretty consistent temperatures going across the board. It's pretty funny how it's going like sort of just down, down, down. You see 72, 71, 70, 69. Very simple to understand. It's not that hard. It's not that hot, I should say. Not that hot, not that cold. But we're slowly finally getting to those winter temperatures. Now, as we go on across the state, we can see a little more variation. 77 in Houston, probably because it's closer here to the coast. 77 in Austin, and it's a lot colder up there in Amarillo, 62 degrees. So if you're in Amarillo, I guess wear a coat, huh? And as we go on to the next stage, we got our 7-day forecast. Wow! 7 days of forecast. As you can see, it is actually going to get pretty cold later in the day this whole week, but it's going to stay pretty consistent throughout the day. As you can see, 75 degrees, 71, 70, 72. But as we get to Sunday, it is going to get cloudy, and Monday it will rain with a 58% chance of rain. And at night, of course, you see those temperatures, 44 degrees, 41. We're almost getting to below freezing. So luckily, winter is almost here, but not quite yet. As you can see, even on Sunday, we go all the way back up to 62 degrees as a low. But hopefully we get some colder temperatures so we can finally bust out all that winter clothes that I know has been collecting dust in our closets. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mauricio. Since Election Day last week, retailers have seen a spike in online sales of emergency contraceptives like the morning after pill Plan B. One company reported a 1,000% increase in sales of the medication between last Tuesday and last Wednesday. Companies that sell the morning after pill say women are preparing for the possibility that the incoming Trump administration will restrict their access to emergency contraception.
A new study shows some concerning patterns when it comes to e-cigarette use among younger people. Many kids are taking advantage of loopholes to buy them online. Our segment reporter Adriana Rivera has more.
Regulations that are supposed to prevent them from buying e-cigarettes. In the U.S., the minimum age to buy tobacco products is 21, and retailers are required to verify with photo ID if you're under 40, along with ID scans being required to accept deliveries. But that requirement is not being enforced in many cases. Researchers tested it by purchasing flavored nicotine vaping products from 78 different websites and having them delivered to private homes. In almost all of those cases, the ID check rules were not followed. It was reported that 80% of the deliveries were made by the U.S. Postal Service, even though it is not allowed to ship nicotine or tobacco products. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Adriana. Coming up, the latest on the hunt for dozens of monkeys that escaped from a lab on the East Coast.
And I'll give you a look at the UNT men's volleyball team that is having a fantastic season.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
There's some encouraging news from South Carolina, where crews have been on the hunt for dozens of escaped monkeys. 43 of them got away from a research facility last week. Authorities have found 30 of them, but they're still looking for the other 13. Search crews believe those monkeys did not get far from the facility, and they say these animals are probably harmless. But they are urging people who live in that area to make sure their windows stay closed and locked. People in New Mexico may be keeping their doors and windows closed to keep all the snow out. Parts of the state got winter weather early this year. That allowed a popular skiing location to open historically earlier this season. The resort said it got 3 feet of snow during a recent storm. Its managers say that allowed them to start operating weeks before the normal opening time. The snow isn't groomed yet, but that has not stopped customers from lining up to hit the slopes.
UNT has various club sports that students can participate in, but one in particular has had a very good season. I got the chance to check out the UNT men's volleyball club to see how their season has gone. The University of North Texas offers students the opportunity to compete in club sports. These teams practice, travel, and compete in various tournaments. While many teams have had success this season, the triumphant season for the UNT men's volleyball club definitely does not go unnoticed.
We have picked up here at the end. There's been some tournaments where we just do really, really bad, and then there's some tournaments and some games where we do really good, so it's just really a roller coaster depending on who I have and who I don't have.
The men's A team has played multiple tournaments this season. At their first 2 tournaments, they placed in the silver bracket, but at their most recent tournament, they placed 3rd overall in the gold bracket for the first time in several years.
This last weekend was super thrilling because we went undefeated in all of our sets leading up to the gold bracket placement. Our team was riding on a high, even though we weren't super happy with some of our plays that we did. The position that we held going into bracket had us feeling very good.
With just 1 tournament left this season, the team is hopeful for success because Nationals is just around the corner.
I really want to get in gold. Last tournament we got 3rd in gold. I would really like to be in that range again.
We've had a really positive season. We've done really well at our other traveling tournaments. I'm anticipating that this one should go similarly.
The boys compete in their final tournament this season at the end of November. It'll be the first tournament that counts towards Nationals, so hopefully the team will have a good set of games to start off on the right foot for their competitive tournaments next season. For North Texas Television, I'm Landry Brady.
The volleyball club looks like a lot of fun, Landry. It makes me wonder about the other sports news going on.
Good thing our sports anchor Christian Bursich is here to answer your question. Christian?
Thanks, guys. It was not a great weekend for football fans here in North Texas. I've got an update on Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott and his hamstring injury, as well as a look into the tough Mean Green football loss that we took to number 25 Army on Saturday. That's coming up after the break.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, so we have to watch the next one before next class, right?
We do?
I think so, but it's not on Netflix and it's not on Hulu, so
Man, I don't want to pay for that.
so what do we do?
You think there's a place we could go to get the movie?
I'm not sure, maybe?
Oh, there's a place to get the movie.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it's right here on campus. Come on, I'll show you.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with them?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check them out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it. right, Mom. I have.
The Dallas Cowboys are in trouble. The team confirmed quarterback Dak Prescott is done for the season. He's set to have surgery tomorrow to repair a partial avulsion of his hamstring. The last time Dak missed extended time, the Cowboys finished 6-10 and missed the playoffs. They are on pace to finish with a similar record this year. After years of broken promises, the fan base is turning on owner and general manager Jerry Jones. The Cowboys are now the first team in franchise history to trail by 20 points or more in 5 straight home games. And with Houston coming to town on Monday, we might see that streak continue. UNT lost a heartbreaker to the Army Black Knights at home on Saturday. Although the Mean Green weren't able to secure the win, they fought until the very end, falling in a low-scoring battle, 14-3. I had the chance to attend the game, and I was curious to hear from Coach Eric Morris after the game.
UNT had their first top 25 matchup of the season, going to war with number 25 Army in Denton on Saturday. The game was a defensive battle, with less than 20 points being scored overall. Freshman cornerback Brian Nelson II had a clutch interception to bring the offense back onto the field. Nelson remained confident that the offense could bring UNT back into the football game.
Yeah, it's always going to be confidence in the whole team, no matter what happens. Just, things happen in the game, so we just have to adjust to it.
Despite the confidence, the Mean Green offense just couldn't put the ball into the end zone, with 2 costly turnovers preventing them from getting back into the game. Head coach Eric Morris described those missed opportunities while also taking the opportunity to praise the defensive performance.
The first interception by Chandler down there, I thought was a bad play call by me. And then we had a couple opportunities, that we had a screen down there that we had set up and missed a block on it, and so it was just kind of back and forth. And against a good team like that, you can't be able to win a game if you can't score points against them. And so that was a big story game. I thought was how well our defense played against them, and then number 2, how bad we were offensively in the red area.
UNT hopes to get back into the win column on Friday, taking on UTSA in the Alamo Dome. From North Texas Television, I'm Christian Bursuch.
After Army's win on Saturday, the Black Knights jumped to 16th in the rankings, with a real chance to sneak into the college football playoffs. Here at North Texas, we just need one more win in our last 3 matchups to find ourselves playing in a bowl game this winter. I have a feeling we'll win this Friday when we take on UTSA in San Antonio. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Christian. Hopefully we'll be able to get that final win this Friday.
I hope so too. Thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight, at tomorrow, and at noon here on North Texas Television.